Protests have shaped the course of history, challenging injustice, demanding change, and uniting people for common causes. These pivotal movements have left lasting impacts on societies worldwide. Here are 10 of the most influential protests in history. 1. The Boston Tea Party, 1773. A defining moment in American history, this protest against British taxation without representation sparked the American Revolution. Disguised as Mohawk Indians, protesters dumped tea into Boston Harbor, symbolizing resistance to colonial oppression. 2. The Women's Suffrage March, 1913. Held in Washington, D.C., this protest was a turning point for the women's suffrage movement in the United States. Thousands marched to demand the right to vote, paving the way for the 19th Amendment in 1920. 3. The Salt March, 1930. Led by Mahatma Gandhi, this peaceful protest against British salt taxes in India was a critical moment in the Indian independence movement. The 240-mile march inspired non-violent resistance movements worldwide. 4. The March on Washington, 1963. This civil rights protest, where Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech, became a cornerstone of the American civil rights movement. It significantly influenced the passing of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. 5. Stonewall Riots, 1969. A spontaneous uprising in New York City's Greenwich Village, the Stonewall Riots were a catalyst for the LGBTQ+ rights movement. They led to the establishment of pride events celebrated globally today. 6. Anti-apartheid movement, 1950s-1990s. Protests against South Africa's apartheid regime, including international boycotts and internal demonstrations, eventually led to the dismantling of apartheid laws. Nelson Mandela's release and presidency marked a new era for the nation. 7. Tiananmen Square protests, 1989. Chinese students gathered to demand political reform and freedom of speech. While the movement was suppressed, the iconic image of Tank Man symbolized resistance and inspired global discussions on human rights. 8. Berlin Wall protests, 1989. Demonstrations in East Germany led to the fall of the Berlin Wall, a powerful symbol of the Cold War. The protests reunited families and nations, marking the end of an era of division. 9. Arab Spring, 2010–2012. This series of protests across the Middle East and North Africa demanded democracy and economic reforms. While outcomes varied, the movement highlighted the power of collective action in the digital age. 10. Fridays for Future, 2018–present. Inspired by Swedish activist Greta Thunberg, this global movement has mobilized millions to protest climate inaction. It emphasizes the urgent need for sustainable policies to combat climate change. These protests demonstrate the profound impact of collective action on shaping societies. Each stands as a testament to the power of courage, unity, and the relentless pursuit of justice and change.